Good evening, everyone. This video is going to be a trading review and support session for January the 4th, 2023. It was a kind of a difficult day for me because I made some mistakes, and we're going to talk about my mistakes as a teaching point. But first, the question was asked, how do you update multi-charts? And I did update multi-charts recently, and it seems to be fine. I've been using it for several days. And so the best way to do it is up here, is help and check for updates. To come down there, and it's going to. I am using the currently the latest version of multi-charts. If you are not, it's going to give you a different message here, and it's going to give you, in the text, you have to kind of look at it carefully. You're going to see a download link, a hypertext download area. So you click on that, and it will download the multi-charts installation file, essentially. Okay, so and it'll be in your downloads folder. Once it's downloaded, and it's a relatively big file, it'll take a second. Then at that point, you can go ahead and close multi-charts. Go to your download folder, and double click to execute the file that you just downloaded. So it should have a recent date on it, and from there just follow it. Right. So it'll ask you the normal questions to be able to update it, and then when you get done, it will clean itself up, and then you can restart multi-charts, and everything should come back the way you left it. All right. So it's relatively simple to be able to update. It just takes a little bit, including having to recompile anything that needs to recompile. But it doesn't need to. It can't recompile. Oh, it took a long time to install, or took a long time to download. Um, how's your internet speed? I mean, it's a pretty big file, but I mean, it shouldn't take forever. Let me see if I can pull my download folder up to see how big it is. It is 190, essentially 197,000 kilobytes. So 196 meg or something like that. Um, so yeah, try. I mean, try it again. I mean, it's not really fast. I mean, so it is a pretty big file, but about your internet speed is about 500 megabits. I mean, that should be plenty fast enough. I mean, it shouldn't be stuck. So I just say, give it another shot. All right, so let's go kind of what the day looked like when we got started here, and this is so far it is today. When we got started, it was up a little bit, and it kind of moved around. But we were talking about this morning that it was kind of going sideways, and it wasn't really doing that much. And today was an FOMC meeting minutes day, and so it was a little bit excited when it started to get before the market opened. So let's see where we were at. So we were about here ish. A market opens, right? So at that point, it was still kind of in the invigorating and trying to go up. It did go up later, but and it was back and forth kind of through the rest of the day. But here was my problem, and here was the first problem, and here was my first entry, right? And it was above the EMA, right? But it really was just barely above the the fast flex, right? So it's trying. It just held at the previous Globex high. So in other words, I traded into a double top, which is not necessarily great. Could have easily recovered that, but I really didn't get any help from volume. I mean, I got a two bar combination here. I kind of kept it wanting it to come back up. The only good thing is I never really got a chance to add. So, but I could have, would have, should have, maybe reversed anywhere in here, right, and been able to add to it. But instead, I got bluffed out. This is not, unfortunately, this is not the first time this has happened, right? So it's getting pressure, 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 and I'm thinking about it here, right? And it's kind of close to the EMA zone, so I didn't want to switch to short yet because I had all this territory to make up. Didn't necessarily think it was going to go back down, but then as a reaction, right, on this expansion, right, I kind of got bluffed out and I reversed to short. And then I was a little bit on the obstinate side again. Let me clear this up a little bit. Right, so that was kind of a bad trade, and then it kind of went down, and then I got backwards in essentially the down up, which was pretty bad. So right, so lost money there, so reversed again, and again I'm not getting a whole lot of volume indications here to help me out. So this was the expansion and did expand here. So so I was short here, kept it all the way through here. So I've got to think about that. Reversed again, and added to it here, and from that particular reverse. Let me move this over. So added to it again and got out here, right? But so I made from this reverse point, right? I made money from that reverse point, but I incurred the loss of the big V. Let me erase that. So coming back to here, right? That was pain. This was pain. So at that particular point, now I'm in a hole and I'm trying to dig out of it. And I did dig out of it quite a bit, not completely. So I tried to stay on the right side of the market, and I didn't get all the trades done. But that's a good trade. That's a good trade. Let's see. This ended up being an okay trade. That was an okay trade. So, but I'm down multiple. I'm down a bunch, right? So let's see. Looks like I reversed something here. Oh, maybe this wasn't a good trade. I reversed. So maybe this wasn't a good trade. It didn't look that good. I mean, going back into slow flex in the open. So it looks like I reversed here. Oh, this was the one that scared me. So I reversed here. Right, so now I'm short, and it's hard for me to see. I'm going to try to see my ads because I had a few. Here's one ad. Trying to see the other ones. Some of them are. I think that's the other ad, and I think I know I had four, and I just don't know exactly where the fourth ad was. But this is coming in the news. It went crazy. And luckily, right? It came down and got me out. And I even made a little bit of money. I got out somewhere in there, but it was scary because it was one of those. I didn't wasn't really expecting it to be that fast, and it was. So it's always scary to hold across news, and but it was scary, but it worked out. Went long here, right? So so made money there, made money here. Let me scroll back over. I think I only marked up to about 730 ish. So made money here, made money there on that short, on both of those shorts. Let's see if I'm missing anything else. So many trades, it was difficult to keep track of them all. Let's see, I see a short here that I think I must have, I don't know if I added to this or not, but I mean, this is even kind of a suspect trade, right? Short just a little bit over the bias level, and I'm out over here. So it doesn't look like I added to it. I was just able to get out. Oh, here's the trade I think I thought I had before. So that was a good trade. This one ended up being a good trade. I see a trade right here. Let's see ultimately what that trade did. Um, oh, maybe yeah, I guess I did get out here, and this was and this started to be a little bit of a reverse. It was a reverse. It did there, added to it here. I got out of one, right? But it's carrying. I had two here, got out of one, had to reverse up here, then it added to it, and then it's out for profit here. I think I got somewhere in here. I had the trade, and it was quickly out as well, and went short here. I basically I am trading too much. I mean, I'm trying to get the profit back, and I cut it at about half, but then but it's still negative. Uh, Short here, had to add to it here, out there, and so I'm really luckily I told you guys I was being trading too much and too aggressive. Long here. Let's see. I'm sure I think I added to it here. It's white on white, so it's difficult to see. And out there, and I don't remember. I don't know if I maybe. Let me see if I can come back to my chart a little bit. I think this is okay. So this is when, all right. So I had cut the loss basically in half. All right, basically in half, and then I got into this trade, a trade. Let me see if I can do it. 740, 150. Right around there. So it goes short around there. So again, not a great trade. And then I try to add to it and get out around the EMA. Here didn't work. And then I should have, so basically I did the same thing again. I made the same mistake again, which is what I said. All right, so again, I'm not getting a whole lot of volume indications, but so I coulda, woulda, shoulda reversed here because I'm on the wrong side of the market. It's coming off of the minute average. And so I went from, a loss to cutting it in half and then adding to the loss. And then I just quit after that because of obviously making bad decisions. So let's see. Let me go to my chart. Oh, because it kind of like died down, and I was waiting for it going into the 8 o'clock hour to see if it's going to roll over. And I said if it attempted to go and make a new top, so I held it all through here. If it's going to attempt to go make a new top, I was going to give it up. And so I gave it up, at 57.45. So see, at that point, um, and I was trying to get out of some right around here, right, and sometimes it just doesn't quite get it. So I was going to get out of some there. It didn't do it. I bailed on it. I was tired of it at about that point. Ultimately, if I had held on for a little bit more, I could have gotten out of some. All right, so here's the 2x200. I was trying to get out of the 2x200. I would have had to suffer more pain right across the 8 o'clock hour, and if it had gone up, it would have been really bad. I chose to, and this is a lesson, I guess. It is a lesson. I chose to, to live to fight another day. What time did I get out? 57-ish, like around here, right? Is starting to buy again. So I went flat here. So I chose to live to fight another day, right? And this is going into the 8 o'clock hour. Who knows? I mean, maybe it was going to come back up here. I could have survived it. Maybe it was going to come up here, challenge it, and maybe go up here, in which case it would have been very bad. Ultimately, I could have gotten some out. So let me scroll over. Ultimately, as you can see, right, I could have gotten out of some because I had two in this area to get out, but I think I had a total of 5, right? So then as you see, then it did kind of get crazy up here. I don't know why. And let's just go to see how crazy it got. So I'm already out. I would have needed a lot bigger pullback, and as you can see, it just went crazy. Well, it didn't go crazy, but it was definitely against me, right? And I shouldn't have been in it, and I wasn't. I chose to live for another day, and then ultimately, this would have been horrible, right? This would have been horrible. So I chose to live for another day. Now I wasn't trading this time. I did come back and trade some more in the afternoon. Did find reduce the loss in the afternoon once I traded around some, but ultimately it wasn't a good day. So I'm okay though. I had actually traded some over the holidays, and so basically I gave back my holiday earnings, but I chose to live another day. So I had kind of reset some of my aggressiveness, and I don't know if it's because we had the holiday break and that kind of stuff, and maybe the other thing is and it's all psychological, right? But it's I had been making money day after day after day, and then I think maybe when I'm making money day after day after day, I could get overconfident, right? And trade and push trades a little bit too much, and then not bail out of it soon enough. And I'm thinking about that. I'm definitely thinking about that. And if you just wait for the most conservative trades, you're okay. And I did not wait for the most conservative trades. And even as I was making money back, as you saw, right, I wasn't really waiting for the most conservative trades because I was trying to get money back. And you get into kind of like revenge mode, and that's not necessarily a good thing either. So that was my day. It wasn't a good day, So we all learn from my mistakes, and hopefully I learned as well. All right. So any questions on that? Tomorrow's my last trading day of the week. Like I said, I'll be out Friday and Monday, taking a little trip. When I get done, I'll send an email to everyone just to make sure that they know, and they'll have it in their email. Is January bad for me? I'll have to, and the new year, that kind of stuff. It could be. So maybe I'm overconfident in January. I mean, this was a tradable day. This was a tradable day. I mean, not a whole lot of volume clues. I consider the trades and the loss that I had today my mistakes. Um, and maybe it was purely psychological. I don't know. Well, it was psychological. Now, why I was obstinate a little bit and not trading like I should, and I know how to. Not quite sure, right? I know some people get into that a little bit. Some of them are much more disciplined. I suggest you be much more disciplined. it works out better, trust me. Um, and so I'll get back into that mode. And again, we don't really need that many trades per day to make good money. I mean, I quit yesterday with 8 points, and I could have made a lot more if I had continued trading. But I stopped at 8 points, which is a very good return, and I gave that back plus some, and plus some of my previous days' profits as well. So I'll make a note of January. And go from there. And yeah, a lot of folks are rebalancing market sectors and that kind of stuff. So maybe that's why I messed around a little bit. All right, but hopefully lesson learned again. All right. Any other questions or any other questions? Are you okay with the multi charts update? Give that a try. Let me know tomorrow if it's working okay. Okay. Have a great night. We'll see you in the morning.